Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have Laya here with us, who recently got into VMware as an intern and as a full-time employee through his campus placements at VIT. So all of us know what VMware is, and we've obviously used some product or the other of VMware. So before we talk to him, let's look at the eligibility criteria. So eligibility criteria was that the student should have a 60% or above in 10th and 12th, and also a 70% or above in the pursuing degree with no standing arrears. Okay, so now let's talk to Laya. Hi Laya, welcome to my channel. Firstly,
Hello.
congratulations on your
Thank
placement.
you. Thank you.
Would you like to introduce yourself first?
Okay, yeah. My name is Laya Rathod, and I studied in VIT Vellore, and my branch was CSE core. And recently I got placed in VMware.
Okay, that's great. Now you can tell us about your the whole hiring process, like how many rounds were there and what they comprised of.
Okay, so it was actually a long process. So it was I think 5 rounds.
Okay.
Where the first round was a normal like an MCQ and a programming round, which happened online. This happened very early during the placement season.
Okay.
Most of the questions, MCQs, consisted of actually networking questions, as well as since VMware is it has a networking background. So networking questions, then logical reasoning, then general DSA questions as well for MCQs, and there was one coding question as well.
Okay.
And I think the major criteria was to get most of the MCQ questions right, as well as you have to complete the coding question. Yeah, coding question was pretty easy as compared to other tests that I had given before. So like it was a logic, like you had to create a function about a set particular thing. Okay. After that, this happened. After that, actually a month later, they shortlisted people, and I don't know how many exactly were shortlisted, but around I think 30 to 40 people were shortlisted for the next round. Okay. So the next 2 rounds were the technical rounds. Technical rounds, it was like 1 hour each, and basically they dive deep into there was an interviewer, and he was just having a random normal chat with you. Okay. And he was trying to get to know how much you know and what is your depth of knowledge in things. So he asked questions about networking. Networking was a very big thing for VMware, because if you don't know networking, then they will not hire. Okay. So networking is one big aspect, and DSA questions. Then they had logical questions as well, where they had riddles which they asked. Then there was a code pair round as well. Okay. In the code pair section, they gave me a problem statement on the spot. Okay. And within 10 minutes, I had to code it as well, and I had to screen share and I had to code it. Okay. Those were tough. Those were actually very tough. They are related to substrings and related to tree structure. Okay. So that was a little hard. So I was not able to complete the coding aspect of it, but it is basically as in when you're coding, you have to keep basically speak out your mind, what you're thinking and how you're thinking, what approach you're thinking. So that way I was continuously talking, and by the end of 10 minutes I couldn't complete it. I was able to complete a few parts of it. Okay. And then they said it's fine. And so basically in these 2 rounds, their thinking was not like you have to complete it, but they wanted to see how I approach a problem. Okay. Basically. So those were so first round happened. Second round was very similar to this. There were 2 different interviews. This happened the first one happened on the first day. And the next day, early morning, I had the second round. Okay. Yeah, so after this was completed, I was also selected for the next round, which is the managerial round.
Okay.
Managerial round is where the actual manager that is going to hire you is going to take your interview.
Okay.
So he is a high level authority. So here also he tested my general knowledge about like networking and stuff like that. But here the major thing was also about my resume.
Okay.
My resume and what all I've written in that, what all projects I had done, also about how I work with as a team, and what all experiences I've had before, like work experiences. Then as and when I told about my work experiences, he wanted to know more about like how it was with the team, how it worked, what all I've learned before, what am I comfortable with.
Okay.
So that was there, and that was actually one of my best interviews because that is where they actually know your character rather than just pure technical knowledge.
Yeah.
So there he was like, my manager was really impressed,
Okay.
and he's currently my manager as well, like in my intern.
Okay.
So I'm working under him as well. So that was pretty good. And then after that, I got shortlisted for the last round, which is the HR round.
Okay.
HR round was very simple, 15 minutes only. They just wanted to know my like certain things about my resume and whether I'll be working from home or whether what are the preferences for job location, everything, all that formalities.
Okay.
So that happened. All these three interviews, the last three interviews happened on the same day. Like as and when I was shortlisted, I was sent a mail, and at the end of the day, I got the shortlisted as well. And I think only 8 or 9 people got selected for VMware. Yeah. So overall, the experience was pretty good. They had handled it pretty well as well. Like there was not they sent the mails on time, made sure you were on time, and even the recruiters, the interviewers were actually very nice. They made you comfortable, and they also knew what they were talking about. So whenever I was doing something, whenever I was saying something wrong, they would correct me. They would make me understand what is wrong and what should be correct. So that was really good. And one thing that I would like really give advice on, that basically if you don't know something about something, like if you don't know something about networking or one particular aspect, you tell them upfront that you don't know about it, rather than going on
trying to say something
or making up something, because then they'll know for sure that you're not hiring people. So that's one big major advice I give, because whenever I did not know something, I just straight up told that I don't know, and they were pretty okay with it. They were like, that's cool, that's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, that's about it, about the whole experience. It was pretty good. And luckily it was the first interview that I gave.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, like I gave a lot of tests before that, but this was the first time I got shortlisted for an interview after the test, and luckily I got through.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty good thing.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing your experience. And do you have any suggestions for people who want to get into VMware or any good company for that matter?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me personally, just be yourself in the interviews, and actually there are a lot of domains, like SD, there's data science, and these kind of roles that also come. So actually, you have to prepare for the particular thing. Like if for VMware, I knew that networking is a big thing because that covered the major aspect of everything. So that's why I before the interviews and before everything, I used to go through Geeks for Geeks and all. Just brush up on the networking concept, like the OSI layers and how the MAC thing works, NICs and all. So that is one advice, and basically, don't lie on your resume. Put whatever you know completely, everything about. Like all your projects, you should know what everything you're doing in that. If there's something half-heartedly that you've done, or you have like only percentage you have put in the work in that, and don't put that in your resume.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. And, yep.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, and yeah, thank you.